Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Ty from MasterKicks.com, and today I got something special for you. I'm going to be doing a comparison between the fake Jordan 1 Code Japan and the authentic pair. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to give you a quick backstory. Now, that was like a week and a half ago. I was actually approached by this man named Sydney, and he runs kickzone.com. Now, Kickzone is obviously a website that sells fake or replicas or bootlegs. So he told me, hey, House of Kicks, can you do a review for me? And I told him, dude, I can't do that because my website actually exposes fakes. And I also work on, my mathematics background allows me to do a lot of reviews on shoes as far as like the resale value and what shoes to get and how many pairs I made. So if you're familiar with my website, you know that this is what I do. So I told him I can't do that. And he insisted on me just doing a comparison. He said, I don't mind sending you the shoe for a comparison. So I said, well, if you do that, then I can acquiesce to your request. So he sent me the shoe, and it's a size 12. And this is the fake pair right here in my hand. And then the good news is this. I was also talking to one of the guys that runs Plug. Plug is like a third-party marketplace. Yeah, a little bit like StockX, but a little bit better. So they were gracious enough to send me a size 9. And you can see their tag on here. You can go on their website. It's called getplug.us. They sell authentic shoes. So today we're going to be doing a comparison to see what are the commonalities and what are the differences between these two shoes. Now, a lot of time on my website, on my YouTube channel, I get a lot of guys that say to me, hey, House of Kicks, you don't have the shoes on hand. How can you actually do the comparison? Because I use a lot of pictures. And sometimes it takes me like 3 hours to just put these pictures together, and it's a lot of work. So I'm glad I actually have the shoes on hand because we're going to be diving into it and we're going to be looking at actual flaws. We're going to look at what is coming and what is not coming. So stay tuned for that. Now, the first thing I want to do, guys, is I'm just going to show you how close these shoes are to one another. All right. Now, this is the fake on my left hand and the authentic on my right hand. Let's just take a look at it from side to side. The material is the same on this side here. Nubuck and some kind of a tumbled leather on both shoes is exactly the same thing. And if you look at the Jordan Wings logo at the heel, it's the same too. I don't see any problem with the wings. I do not see any differences there. I looked and looked again. I did not see anything. If you look at the toe box, same thing. I'm going to turn in this way. You're going to look at the toe boxes. Okay, the perforations are the same. I do not see any differences there. The tongue and its extension is the same as well. Now I'm going to turn it this way, and we're going to look at the medial side as well. If you look at the medial side, again, same features, same leather material. I do not see anything different there. All right, and we're going to look at the back. We're going to turn them, and we're going to look at the back. The back is the same just as well. Now, I would say that on the size 9, which is the authentic pair, there are more wrinkles than here. If you look close enough, the wrinkles are a lot more. But other than that, stitching is the same. Okay, and then we're going to look at the inside of the tongue. The Jumpman and the 2001-2020, the material feels the same. The tongue is not as flimsy on both. This one is a little bit more flimsy, but other than that, I do not see any differences. Okay, and then the inside liner, same thing. We're going to fill it. I'm going to fill it here. Dual density foam on the fake pair. Dual density foam on the authentic pair. Okay, and then we're gonna pause and jump onto some other things. Now what I did was I pulled out the insoles to see if there was any difference in the stitching. And this is the fake pair is on my hand, on my right hand here. Now if you look at the fake pair, this is the inside there. You can see some stamping in there, and the stitching is white. Okay, the threads. Now the date on the fake pair is January the 22nd. This is the production date, and the production factory is XC. On the authentic pair, we're gonna see. Now again, inside is the same, stitching is the same. Now the production date is different. That's the very first differences that we notice is the production here is March the 4th. Okay, this is when this was produced. Now if you look at the inside, again, I'm gonna turn them this way. I do not feel any differences. The foam inside is the same, pretty much. Okay, the tongue. Now, when I was looking at the tongue, I noticed something interesting here. Now, when I feel this one, this is more rough. On the authentic pair, it's more soft. when I put my hand here, it's a lot more soft, and you can see that this is a little more rugged here. But again, this is just stuff that's not really noticeable. Okay, and then we're gonna look at the insoles as well. So let's pause again and look at the insoles. Now, these are the insoles. This is the authentic pairs insoles, and this is the fake pairs insole. Now, usually what happens is this area here where they put the markings, like the Jumpman and the logo, usually on the fake pairs, when you scratch it, they tend to like really fade away quick. And I've been scratching this for quite some time now, and it hasn't happened. Now you can see that they are the same thing. I do not see any differences here. I try to fold them. Now this is the authentic, and this is the fake one. Again, they don't seem as flimsy. They seem to be the same. They have the same girth here. The thickness is the same, okay? You can see that, right? This is the bottom. Now, I did recognize some funny thing here. I don't know if this is like, it says on the bottom of this one size 9. Okay, this is a 9, but on the fake one, it doesn't say anything. So again, this is not that major. Now we're gonna look at some other differences now, okay? Now the very first difference that we see at the bottom is inside this area here. If you look at the patterns, on the fake one, which is this one here, this is more apparent. On the authentic, it's very subtle. You can't really see all the markings. They are kind of hidden here. But on the fake one, they are really, really vivid. You can see them. They like jump out to you. Okay? And the same thing with this area here. You can see on the authentic, it's more subtle. On the fake one, you can kind of see them. Inside here as well, the same thing. You can see that on the authentic pair, they are more apparent. On the authentic pair, they are more subtle. On the fake pair, they are more apparent here. Okay? I'm going to show you this one as well. And we're going to turn this way. And now let's look at the laces. I do not see any differences in the laces. The laces are the same on either pair. This is the authentic. Laces are the same. Thickness is the same. Now the major differences are coming now. And the major differences are on the box and the label. So that's what we're going to be looking at now. So as far as the shoes is concerned, the only thing that we notice is the tongue and its extension, where this is more rough and this is more soft and more subtle. And then the bottom, this area here, I say on the fake one, you can kind of see this pattern better. On the authentic, is more subtle. And these are the major differences. Okay, as far as the color is concerned and the material, same thing. Now let's jump onto the box now. One of the other major differences is this insert here. What is written in it? It says die cut sock liner. On the fake one, which is on my left hand, is very vivid. You can see the markings. On the authentic, is really subtle. You can see how subtle it is on the authentic, right? So this is another major differences. Now, big differences here. If you look at these two boxes, this is the fake box and this is the authentic box. Okay, on the fake box, you can see that the gray is more somber and darker. On the authentic box, the gray is more light and is a lot more like subtle. This one is a lot darker and somber. And if you look at the label, I'm going to show you something interesting here. Now, again, this is not a big deal. If you look at the fake box, there is no MSRP. You don't see that here. On the authentic, it says 170. Right? This is coming from overseas, so it doesn't say that. There is no MSRP here. So that's one of the ways you can kind of like quickly figure it out. Now, I'm going to show you something interesting here about the fake box. Now, in the fake, here's what they did. They sent me this here. They sent me a StockX authentication card that comes with the fake one. It comes with this one as well. You see this? Now, this is how you get fooled, right? And the fake one even has a stamping on the box. This is crazy. Now, the authentic obviously doesn't have the authentication card from StockX, but it does have some stamping here. The stamping is different. Now, this is more like, the print here is a lot more like bold ink, and this is like a little bit fading away. And now I'm going to show you some other things. So let's pause again. So now we are scanning the QR code on the authentic box, and you can see that it's taking us straight to Nike. We're going to do the same thing on the fake box as well and see what happened. Same thing. So as you can see, the fake box is working just as well. So that's not a good way to authenticate your shoe because they can duplicate it. Now we're going to check the RFID identifier next. Now as you can see, this is the authentic paper and this is the fake paper. Now on the authentic, you can see that's a little more shiny. The Jumpman and the 2001 and 2020 is a little more shiny on the authentic than it is on the fake one. Okay, it's a lot more flat here. You can see that you can't really see the shining material. On the authentic, you can see that it shines as soon as you get on it, it shines a little bit more. All right. Now the last step is going to be the RFID, which I talked about earlier. So we're going to look at that. Now what I'm going to do in front of you now is I'm going to peel this label, okay? And I don't want to rip it, but I'm going to have to peel it. I'm not going to do that on the authentic because obviously I cannot do that for a reason that I have to return the authentic shoe back. So let's see here. Now this is incredible that they even put this chip behind a fake shoe. This is now here's the question. This chip here is supposed to have installed in the chip all the information of the sneaker, like a lot of information. Now I don't know if this is a placebo or this is actually real. I do not have an RFID reader because this connects to the RFID reader and it gives you that information. Now what you can do is that you can take this shoe to Nike and then double check that. So now this just blew my mind right now that the fake box even has this behind. This is crazy. Okay, as you can see, this is the fake one. It doesn't have the MSRP, but they did put this piece here, and I'm gonna try to see what happened. I mean, this really surprised me because this is the RFID chip, and I don't know what's stored in here. I don't have a RFID reader to read this information, so I'll be curious to know. And this is the scary thing, guys, because I'm telling you, these fakes have gotten so much better that I don't even know what to say anymore. Because when you looked at both shoes, again, I'm gonna be picking up both shoes now. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna pick them up again. I mean, I could not find any differences beside the bottom, which I showed you this area. The tongue on the authentic is a lot more subtle. Here has more wrinkles. And then other than that, the material was the same. And then the box, the gray on the box of the authentic pair is a lot more lighter than it is on the fake one, the shiny paper. This is the only differences that I've seen, guys. This is crazy. And Nike is in serious trouble. Because here's what I'm gonna say to you guys. These guys that are making the fake shoes, they've now understood the market. They know to thrive, they have to make shoes that are so much better. And they are selling these fakes for like $150, which means they are making more revenue sometimes than Nike itself because their stock is unlimited. They keep spitting out shoes every day. And they watch videos like this, the one that I'm doing, and they go back in the laboratory and they fix the shoes and spit out even better. Now, if you're not surprised by this, I mean, I'm really surprised that they actually put this behind the label. That, to me, was an eye-opener because they are really following what people like me are doing. Because we are talking, we are explaining things, and they are picking up on it, and they are making better fakes. This is scary, guys, and Nike is in trouble. Now, the only thing that Nike can do is pretty much just monitor what's coming out. And how they're going to monitor that, because these guys cannot be controlled. Nike, the only way Nike can win to some extent is just bring the factories back to the USA. They're not going to do that because labor in overseas is cheaper. So again, this is a win-win game for the fake industry because they are going to keep making better and better shoes. And again, I'm not promoting fakes, but I'm just telling you, this is scary. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Most of the people selling these shoes on eBay right now with multiple pairs are probably selling bootlegs. And you don't know because you can't even tell. Okay? So a lot of the guys selling these shoes in multiple sizes are probably selling you fakes. So hopefully you've learned a lot from what I've told you today. And I'm hoping that you'll be more careful when you do your purchases online, because I'm telling you, these are probably slipping through many cracks. Even I'm sure StockX is probably selling, I'm not going to say fakes, but I'm sure some are slipping through the cracks because it's so hard to tell when you don't have an authentic shoe on hand. And you even see with the authentic shoe, it's so hard for me to even spot these differences. Okay? So I'm hopefully you've learned a lot today. And again, if you want to buy the authentics, I will invite you to go to plug.us, getplug.us. And again, make sure to subscribe to House of Kicks on YouTube and make sure to visit my website as well because there's a lot more that I talk about there. So I will invite you to subscribe today to House of Kicks, not only on YouTube, but be sure to check the website. Thanks for watching and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you.